Hey, I've been asked why I'm so passionate with my videos against hell. Today I've got to go. I don't have to go. I've chosen to go to the funeral home. A friend of mine, me and him worked together for a lot of years. And back in the 80s, a half a double wide fell on me and broke my pelvis. Doctors told me I'd never walk again and all that. But when it happened, my friend, I can remember looking across the way as my friend is digging a hole. The frame of the house was, about this close to the ground. The jacks are 12 inches tall. So he's digging a hole to get that jack in the ground to jack that house off of me. And at that point, I think I'm dying because the pressure of the house is so great, and I can't breathe. But my friend Terry jacked the house off of me. I don't think you can ask for a better friend than somebody that is there to save your life. His dad passed away Wednesday, and I'm going down to the funeral home after I leave the doctor today. But when I think about the way people preach hell, a place where people will be sent for eternal torment, they say, a torment that would last forever, which in my opinion is totally wrong. And how could it ever be that a God who is loving and caring, and his judgments are right, and he's merciful, and he will forgive all your sins and forget them? How could he take somebody that doesn't fit what Christians preach as being a Christian? And most Christians on here are condemning other Christians to hell. And these Christians they're condemning to hell if they can't meet the mark. How can people who are not so involved in Christianity meet the mark? Was my friend's father wicked? No. Far from it. Was he a hardcore Christian? No. Far from it. I don't know the man's heart. Only God knows his heart. But from what I've seen from the man, he was kind and gentle and a lot of attributes I'd aspire to have. Loyal to his family, married to one woman, loved his kids, even though they were grown, his grandkids. But many Christians here would have him going to hell in a torment for eternity. I was listening to the radio the other day. In the mornings, they have the obituaries. And a 13-year-old girl had passed away. They didn't tell what was wrong with her or anything, and I'm thinking to myself, these Christians that don't know that girl would say, God received her in heaven. But as soon as they know somebody, had they known this girl, they would have started picking at her faults and condemning her to hell. Now, you've got to understand, I don't believe in hell to begin with. I've been called a lot of different names for not believing in that, but I'm going by what scriptures say. A lot of idioms and metaphors and exaggerations in the Bible to get points across. Today we have so much visualization that people can see what the points we're trying to get across. 2,000 years ago, the language was their medium of expression. Fire to them meant total destruction. And a good Bible study shows that. But we want to read it today as if, oh, right there it's saying they would go into everlasting fire. Now you have to realize those translations have been through 2,000 years and several different languages to get to where we are today. And the King James is what most preachers preach from. And there was agendas amongst these people. You know, early on, in the beginning of religion or Christianity, there were 7 schools of thought on what happens in the afterlife. Only one of those believed in eternal torment and a fire, and that was the Roman school. They were the majority. They were the ones in power. So you see where we are today, what we believe in today. Influence. The writers of the King James were influenced by their traditions and their beliefs. Reading an online Bible, Rotherham, and I mentioned this in my last video. It clears up a lot of things by getting as close to the Greek translation as it possibly can. A lot of new Bibles are removing hell from the Bible because the Greek translation won't allow hell to be used. When Peter talks of the earth burning with fervent heat and the elements melting, once you realize what the earth was in his passage there, what he's trying to say, the earth and those in power, those that were the connection between the people and God in the holy temple, it burnt. The elements thereof, the teachings, the traditions, they melted in fervent heat, and they went away with. They were done away with. Christ brought in the new covenant. Now we have a new rule with new elements, a new law, the grace and love. Sure, there are wicked people. When the Bible talks of the wicked being destroyed, these are people that are enemies of God, nations that war against God's people to wipe them off the face of the earth, to destroy them. Those were the wicked. When we claim you're wicked and you're wicked and you're going to hell and we even pointing at Christians, fellow Christians, I think we run into deep water without a boat, without a paddle. and we will eventually drown. So I hope this video made a little sense. Thanks.